Welcome back to another Activate Core's International Virtual Book Tour, and we're on our Writers Core podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Richards Wilson, the founder of the International Virtual Book Tour and the Writers Core podcast. So, this is the fourth chapter of our virtual book tour. Woo woo, give it up. And this year we have 42 authors from 6 continents. Tonight, we'll be featuring a phenomenal author who has written 4 books. She's here to share her story, her journey with us, and to encourage and inspire others. Our author is Jennifer Giscombe Williams. Welcome, Mrs. Williams. It's good to have you here with us.
Thank you so much. It's good to be on as well.
Mhm. So, share with us a bit about who you are and why did you choose to write these books? Take us into your literary journey.
Okay, I'm Jennifer Giscombe Williams. As you said, I am a Jamaican author of 4 books. I have been a Christian for over 50 years. I'm a chaplain. I have certification in a number of disciplines: social policy, management studies, gender and development studies, events management, online facilitation, to name a few. I have experience in banking, in gender and development, in human resources, among other things. My journey in writing started many years ago.
Mm.
As I said, I normally take notes in church, and I've been taking notes for the last 50 or so years in church. At my job, I used to do reports as well, and so that's part of my writing journey. And I just like to write, take notes, jot things down. And so my first publication was a poem in 2009 that I did on Lucille Mathurin Mayer that came in a book,
Mm.
a memorial book for her. So that was published. In 2021, during the pandemic, Select Arrow asked me to do some writing for their magazine called Share Magazine. So I did about 4 articles and 2 poems, and that was mainly online, but they did do a hard copy as well of that book. And so in 2023, continuing my journey, the Lord spoke to me and said, write a book.
Mm.
And so I started to write now for book publication. And so
Excellent.
in 2023, because I was still working after retirement, in 2023, when the Lord spoke to me about that, 2024, well, actually, the end of 2023, I started to write and I published my first book in 2024. Since then, I have published 3 others. So I do both what I would consider nonfiction, and I also do a poetic book as well,
Mm.
telling
Interesting.
stories in poetic form.
Mm. So you have had quite a very successful career, and now you have launched into writing. So you have written 4 books. I'd like you to share a bit about each book and where we can locate those books to purchase, and of course, where we can continue this conversation with you. How can our listeners and our viewers contact you to discuss a bit more about your work?
I am so happy to share about my book. The first one, Love Me, Don't Hurt Me. I love it to my heart. This
Mm.
is my flagship book. First one, and I know I heard the voice of the Lord. He gave me the topic, Love Me, Don't Hurt Me. And so I stuck to it. And in talking to my authors, they say, okay, let's make it into an essential teen guide for self protection and advocacy against abuse. This book is for teens 13 to 17, and it has valuable information. It's not just a book,
Mm.
it's a tool, it's a manual, it's a guide. So I start talking about teens being not a mistake. And I said, do you know who you are? You deserve love and friendship. Do you know your rights? So I came from the perspective of the Convention on the Rights of the Child.
Mhm.
And then I talk about the different types of abuse. I list them. And then I look at problems that exist in the family, like child shifting, sibling families, and all of those. Then teens, how do they deal with the problems? Are
Yeah.
they dealing with it in the wrong way, like substance abuse, digital and media abuse, self harm, and all of those things? And then I talk about teenagers who can be vulnerable, those with disabilities, those in state care, street and working children. Then I talk about safety in the home, in the school, in the community. I talk about
Mhm.
violence in these areas as well. And then I look at some cultural practices. Some may not be relevant to Jamaica: child marriage, female genital mutilation, child stealing, and all of these. And then I look at the environment and how it can create hazards for
Yes.
teens as
Mhm.
well. And I could leave out the pandemic because that really affected
Mhm.
the lives of children.
Did.
And
Yeah.
then I look up the environment, risk assessment, accidents in the home, on the road, in schools, natural disasters, infectious diseases, epidemics and pandemics. And then I'm saying to the teen, you can make a difference. So
Yeah.
I'm actually challenging them to make a difference, to advocate not just for themselves, but for others. And then I put one of my own poems in the book and I talk about rules because we're talking about protection, but each child has to know that I have a role as well.
That's it.
You don't take
Yes.
rights from strangers. These are some of the things you don't do. So, roles and responsibilities for parents and caregivers. And
Mm.
I have two avatars. And throughout the book, they are working as advocates,
How
encouraging the
exciting.
children.
Yes.
Say, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this or I knew this, and so and so. And each chapter is divided in three. One is a narrative about the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it's a working book, so it's engaging the child. And three, I brought in the scriptural references for each one. So that's book number one.
That book
I'm
sounds
doing a
so interesting. It's really
it
interesting
is
and it deals
interesting,
with issues that are relevant to the welfare of our children. Yes. Go ahead, Mrs. Williams.
definitely so. Okay, and actually, I used to do workshops in schools, and so
Mm.
I had that material available in me. And all I needed to do was further research and compact it. So the book
Yes.
it gives it a longer life than a workshop. So
Mm-hmm.
it can be there in your home, in your wherever your library for the teens to read. And it's not just for teens, all caregivers, parents, coaches,
Mm-hmm.
guidance counselors, you just
Yes.
name it. Everyone has a responsibility. Then I started a series, Growing God's Way. And the first one is the fruit of the Spirit. I used to do Sunday
Mm.
schools and even in the city, and I see not just in the city, but I did some in inner city, and I see the children were just pushing each other, and they were pushing them off the bench. It was just
Mm.
normal and natural. And so here I talk about the fruit of the spirit, the love and the joy and the peace and
Yeah.
all of these things, the nine fruit, so that children can know. And each fruit carries a story, and I also link it with the natural fruits so that they can know the apple and the banana and
Very
the
good.
melon and the things that they
Excellent.
can
Excellent.
eat so that they can identify with.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then the other book now in the series, Growing God's Way, this is book two. And this one talk about making good choices. And all of these choices have to do with their daily life, screen time, sleep
Mm.
time, exercise, eating right, even drinking chicken soup, because children don't love soup.
Yes,
Talk
that's
about
it.
not playing in the rain,
Mm.
all of these things. I'm not spending too much time on your tablet. Talk about safety and all of these things. Not keeping secrets. When an adult say this is a secret between you and I, you have to learn to say no. And it has, kindness, some of the fruit of the spirit as well. And I have things like body shaming in the book in a story form, harmful substance, and cleanliness, which is something that
Yes.
you need to bathe, you need to take care of yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
all of these things. So all of these making good choices, and it's scripturally based and scripturally sound, where children, adults, everyone can learn that children need to make good choices.
Excellent.
It's not
Excellent.
optional. They need to. So that's three of the books, and the other one now, crafting poetic stories. It's a woman's perspective on faith, love, and relationship. So it's my perspective, things that I've garnered over the years, either from my own relationship or from my working environment or my living environment, and even things that I've witnessed and observed. So it carries 60 poetic stories. It goes beyond a six-line story
Mm.
or poem. It's a story about different things, conversations with God, children, issues that women face, and all of that. So it's a good read for adults, and you can learn from these stories. Brokenness, all of these things. Have you been broken? You can get gems from my book, Crafting
Excellent, Mrs.
Poetic Stories.
Williams.
So these are
Excellent.
my four books. Um,
Yes. Where can we find these books?
Okay, my books are all available on Amazon. Just put in Jennifer Giscombe Williams, Giscombe. If you put in Jennifer Williams alone, you may not get all my books. Jennifer Giscombe Williams. So they are on Amazon. I also have a website and I am on Instagram and Facebook as well. And this is a business number I'm going to give out 876-873-1366. People
Mhm.
can call me. Two of my books are at Source of Light Bookstore, Hagley Park Plaza. Two of them are at the Baptist bookstore on Washington Boulevard. And I'm trying to get my books into other places. But Amazon is a must. And I
That's it.
also have
Yes.
some at home in Jamaica.
Yes. So you have been crafting these wonderful stores over the years, and I'm sure that there are many, many listeners out there and viewers who would love to know what challenges did you face as you wrote these books?
Okay, I face many challenges. One, where do I stop?
Mm,
Starting is a good point, but how do I stop? How much do I put in? What to include? Who my reader should be? Should I write just for children? Should I write for adults? Should I be a little more inclusive? The age group, all of these challenges. And also in writing, there's self-doubt. You
that's
wonder,
it. Yes. And writer's
am I
block as
really a
well.
writer? Can I write?
Mm,
Yes, will people read my book? And so I query even my own um, usefulness as
mm,
a writer, whether or not I will be on the bestsellers list. And so I face a number of challenges when writing the book. But you know what happened? I continued. I did not
that's
give up.
it.
So
Mm.
there were many challenges. And when people tell me, oh, writing is the easy part, marketing is the hard part, I say, oh my God, why
Oh,
did you
yes.
not
That
tell
is
me
very
before I
common.
started?
Yes, because many authors they write the book and then that's it. They feel that this is it. But then you're gonna have to market the book, right? And this is where I come.
Definitely
And
so.
my company does that to get you to formulate all these plans to form a sustainable brand and to really put your book out there into the virtual spaces and the physical spaces as well. So, what advice would you give to those who would love to begin their literary journey?
Okay, I would say start where you are. And
Mm,
that's always a good place to start. Um, Sometimes people say, oh, I don't have a lot. You'll be surprised.
that's
When you
it.
start to write, you will be surprised to know that you have quite a lot in you. Do not be discouraged. That's what I would say. Because
Mm,
discouragement can come from the onset. You start to write and the person
that's
and
so
you just
true.
it's your teeth, put down the pen and say, me can't bother. If you're in Jamaica, you say, me can't bother. So I would say to writers, pursue your dream. If you believe this is your dream, you're called to write, you have a story to tell, you can help other people, you can help them in their life's journey. I believe that you should start and you must do your research. Read,
Excellent point.
research, ask
Excellent
relevant
point.
questions.
Yeah,
Right, do your research, read, ask relevant questions, but don't be discouraged. Discouragement, especially if it comes at the beginning, it can throw you off totally. And so I would encourage those who want to write. Start at little. Don't be discouraged. Do your research, read, ask the relevant questions because there are some questions
yeah.
I could have asked and should have asked when I started to write, and certainly I did not do
Mhm,
that. And
mhm.
I want them to know that you have a voice.
You have a
And don't
voice. Yes.
allow yourself to say, I don't have a voice or I don't have a story. So it's very important for aspiring writers, whether you're young or you're old, to be focused. That's one of the things.
Mm.
And the other thing, Jennifer, people need to pray.
Oh, yes,
You
definitely.
need to pray because even this
Definitely.
instrument,
Yes.
they give a lot of problems, and you
Hmm.
have to be praying and trusting the Lord so that you
Well
can be
said. Well said.
successful.
Well said. So tell us again where we can find your book and give one word of advice to those who would love to start writing their book. Where again can we find your book and one word of advice?
My all my books are available on Amazon. Jennifer Giscombe, Giscombe Williams. That's one place. If you're in Jamaica, you can go to Source of Light bookstore on Hagley Park Plaza, or you can go visit the Baptist Union bookstore on Washington Boulevard, or you can call me at 1-876-873-1366. And I do have a website, Jenny G. Will. Sorry, Jenny Will Go, JENNYWILLGO dot select arrow dot net. But if you go on Instagram, you'll also find me there.
Excellent.
Only one of my books are only one is in e-copy. All the others are hard copy. And I do have books at home as well that you can get. This is where my bookstore is, my main bookstore at home in Jamaica.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today. And listeners, viewers, there you have it. So this is our Writers Core podcast. Go out and purchase Mrs. Williams' books because I'm sure that they have gems in them that you would not want to miss. So thank you once
Definitely.
again for this wonderful podcast, Mrs. Williams. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. You asked me about a gem, and it's Jeremiah 29:11. The Lord has a plan for you, and that's his master plan. He says, I know the plans I have for you. They are good plans, not plans to harm you, but
Mm.
plans to give you a future and an expected end. So that's my gem.
Thank you so much. So once
You're
again,
welcome.
join us another time for another tremendous, wonderful, fantastic, phenomenal author on our Writers Core podcast. So see you next time. Walk good.
Thank you so much for having me.